All right, good day, folks. I have a jam-packed video for you guys. Today, I want to talk about Bitcoin, its bullish impulse. I want to talk about Synthetix and also some major news stories and on-chain metrics that you guys need to be aware of. So if you like the sound of that, I need you to do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Bitcoin is right up against significant resistance. I'm going to let you know our exact bullish and bearish price targets depending what way we break out and react off $55,000 here. This is a very key inflection point, so folks, again, make sure you stay tuned to this whole video. Lots of important stuff to talk about here. Also, I want to ask you guys to do us a favor. Here at aMillionortheMoon, we're kind of trying to do a push to get some Patreon members. We're trying to get to 100 Patreon members. Currently, we're sitting at 59 Patreon members. If we get to 100, me and Messin, we both run this channel, we're going to be looking to get our own place, our own recording studio for aMillionortheMoon. If this happens, we'll be able to pump out a lot more content for you guys and a lot better, higher quality content for you guys. So if you guys want that extra value, if you like us, you want to support us, become a Patreon members. Once we get to 100, we're gonna be looking to get our own recording studio for aMillionortheMoon. We'll be able to pump out much more content for you guys as well. We're gonna be giving away a hardware wallet randomly to one of the first 100 Patreon members. So folks, become a Patreon member. Link to join it is down in the description below. So without further ado, let's zoom in here to understand what's going on with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, you know, just the other day was all doom and gloom. People were freaking out. You know, there's talk about the end of the bull run. Now Bitcoin is pumping. The market is more steady. Fear is leaving the market, but we are right up against a significant resistance level. So all this sideways price action here is extremely key. We need to get above this range if we want to see bullish continuation. The key range to look out for, in my opinion, is right around $55,000. Nice psychological level. There's also a peak in volume here. We can see that this is the VPV, our point of control, and this region here is currently where we're getting rejected off of. So if we continue to find rejection off $55,000, if we cannot flip this range from resistance into support, then I think perhaps a pullback with Bitcoin is warranted. My price target for pullback, for rejection with Bitcoin is back to around the 50K region. I think we're likely to test just about 50K. We can see how there's a nice spike in volume back in these regions here. So about 50K, we also have a Fibonacci level of 236 right there acting as support, as well as the 100 SMA on the daily. So let me say that again. If we find rejection of 55,000, I think retesting around 50K becomes more likely and more probable. We have a very significant support level here, the 100 SMA on the daily, that Fibonacci level, the 236 macro retracement. We also have a nice spike in volume and sideways price action here. So again, that's the key level to look out for. If we break out bullishly, if we can flip $55,000 from resistance into support, and I think in the short term we're probably going to retest these regions here around 57,000, and specifically the 50 simple moving average on the daily, which is an incredibly significant, important level, because if we zoom out a bit here, we can see that the 50 simple moving average on the daily constantly acted as a bedrock of support for Bitcoin. So the fact that we all throughout this bull run, all throughout this cycle's parabolic growth, the 50 simple moving average was the floor of support for Bitcoin until recently. We broke below it. We tried to get back above it. We kept finding rejection. So if we can flip 55K from resistance into support, I think we're retesting that 50 SMA. If we retest that 50 SMA and flip it from resistance into support, oof. Folks, in that case, I think the worst is behind us. I'm entering a long for Bitcoin, and I'll see you guys on the moon. Now, look, that's not financial advice here. We can always find further rejection, but those are some of the key things to be aware of. Now, something else to be aware of here is the fact that Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. So we can see one of the things that that actually led to this crash was the hash rate going down for Bitcoin. We can take a look at that in a second. But also there was a bunch of Bitcoin inflowing into exchanges. So whenever there's more Bitcoin on exchanges, it's typically bearish, because that tells us that there's more potential selling pressure for Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin is leaving exchanges, that's a good thing, because that's telling us the supply on exchanges is less, and thus the potential selling pressure is less. So the fact that the outflow Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. It is now in the negative or in the positive. Point being, Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. That is a very good thing to be aware of. Another very interesting news story that I just wanted to bring you guys because it's very telling about the state of the macro crypto market. And again, folks, look, you got to understand what's going on with Bitcoin because Bitcoin leads the market. Whatever it does, it's going to affect the altcoin market. And so this story is actually extremely significant. Apparently, JP Morgan is looking to get into some competition with XRP because JP Morgan is partnering with DBS. DBS is Singapore's largest bank. To invest into a new blockchain company focused on global payments and interbank transactions. This is exactly what XRP's mission statement is. So it looks like JP Morgan is getting into competition with XRP. Very interesting to see. Very interesting to see that the institutions are now getting involved with crypto. For folks, until this cycle, the institutions that have fought us, countries, banks, regulatory agencies, they've all been fighting crypto. They've been fighting crypto, saying crypto was only for drug trafficking and all that stuff. But no, look, folks. They fought us, now they're joining us. This is very telling. This marks a shift. Folks, look, it's great to understand the technicals, and I love technical analysis, but I also love the fundamentals of crypto and the state of the market because crypto is essentially creating a whole new financial revolution, a new set of finance on the internet. All these old financial institutions, banking products, financial products, is all going to exist online in a decentralized manner with crypto. So I'm very interested in the fundamentals and what this space is going to look like over the long term. Folks, stay with this channel, stay in crypto, because bull cycle or bear cycle, bear market or bull market, crypto is here to stay. Development and adoption is constantly increasing, and I think over the next 10-20 years crypto is going to take over the world. So again, stay tuned with this channel, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I want to bring you guys briefly a project called Synthetix. I've been very bullish on this thing long term. I kind of wanted to touch upon this thing again because it's been a while since I've talked about it, and it's really worth mentioning because I see something incredibly interesting happening with this project that you guys need to be aware of. So Synthetix, it plays in the derivatives ecosystem. Derivatives are essentially fancy trading instruments where you can create futures or any kind of trading product that you like, really, with derivatives. Derivatives are basically whatever kind of trading mechanism you like. And so Synthetix SNX helps create those trading products and those financial products. So very bullish on this long term because in the legacy markets, in the stock market, derivatives is far larger than the trading of the underlying assets like stocks. In crypto, it's the exact opposite. So if crypto is to mature as an asset class, derivatives is likely to mature and perhaps one day surpass the trading of the underlying assets, much like the legacy markets. So very bullish on derivatives long term. Synthetix is the leader in the derivatives niche. It has by far the most value locked in its ecosystem compared to the other derivatives competitors. But we've been in a nasty correction phase for quite a few months now. Ever since February, Synthetix has not been really doing a whole lot except going down. But interestingly, we're forming some very interesting price structure. We're essentially moving in this downward trending channel, which if you zoom out here, this looks like a goddamn bull flag, folks. Bull flags are very bullish. So let's say, I think the key thing here with Synthetix is we need to wait to see if we break out of this red trend line here, this red resistance line. Because if we do so, I think at the very least we could retest, $29 all-time highs and perhaps go further. Because what we could do is take the conservative scenario, take the height of our channel, move to a potential breakout point that could take us all-time highs. Or if you want to be more optimistic here, we take this. If this is indeed a bull flag, we could take the height of the initial impulse, which is represented by this white line, move to the breakout point. Could we see a $44 Synthetix? I think so, especially if we break out of this red trend line here. But, that's quite a ways away. I think there's something that we can look out for Synthetix to understand even earlier if we're going to see bullish continuation. And that thing is, in order to understand what that could be, we need to understand what Synthetix is doing in its price action. So if we look here, if we zoom in a bit here, what's going on? We're constantly making macro lower highs. Everywhere you look, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Even here, first time here we made a higher high, but then we had a further correction. So we're constantly making macro lower highs, however you take this macro lower highs and lower lows. So you know, made some lows here, lower low, lower low. So, you know, we're seeing, you know, Synthetix is fighting it. We're trying to make some higher highs and some higher lows, but it never gets sustained. So looking at the macro picture here, we're making macro lower highs and macro lower lows. So once we see that start to shift, once we see in the short term macro higher highs and higher lows, that should tell you that at the very least, maybe we're going to retest the upper extremities of this channel, or maybe break out bullishly. So what I'm looking out for with Synthetix is if we can start to make a higher high past some key ranges here. So I can, you know, looking at price structure here, I can identify some key resistance ranges here. So if we can start to get above, I'd say kind of this price reactive level above $18. Really what I'd like to see is get above $19, because we have the 3-2 right above us that's very likely to act as resistance. If we can break above the 3-2, maybe go back down, make a higher low, I think Synthetix might be ready to start making moves to the upside as well. If we draw a Fibonacci retracement from the macro bottom here to the macro top, we actually fell within the 618, the golden pocket. This golden pocket is typically where things like to retrace and where they like to find their support once they've had moves to the upside and then a correction. So the fact that we went within the 618, we're kind of forming a bull flag here. We're kind of at the lower parts. If we start to see kind of, you know, micro lower higher highs and higher lows, probably makes it likelier that we retest this upper extremities of this channel. If we can break above this channel, start to hold above this channel and start making higher highs above this region here and break above $22, $23, this fib level here, and make a higher high here, I think Synthetix is very likely to retest its all-time highs and possibly way further, maybe perhaps get even all the way to $44. So folks, look, if anything interesting happens with Synthetix, we're definitely going to be talking about it here on this channel. Whatever way Bitcoin breaks out, really starts to make large moves, again, we're going to be talking about it on this channel and in our Discord group, so make sure you join our Discord. And again, if you like us and you want to support us, folks, join our Patreon, become a VIP Discord member. If you join our Patreon, you get access to our VIP Discord where we talk about low cap gems, very helpful setups. You get more access to ourselves. We talk to all our Discord members regularly. You can ask us questions. And again, help us get to 100 Patreon members. If we do, we're going to be looking to get our own spot, our own studio. We'll be able to pump out much more content and hopefully much more high quality, better content once we have, you know, kind of like a permanent space sorted out. So make sure you check all that out, folks. If you like this video, please do me that favor, like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon notified of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. I'll wrap it up here. Until next time, folks, take care.